So let's dig in to the first task, which is finding an interim. And this is a limited search focused on the organizational needs of the church. The interim process is led by the session. This is a session action, not a congregational action. And of course, COM is a partner with the session in that approval and in that authorization. It starts with the COM liaison sending to the session the interim pastor search process document. And that is a document, 10, 12 pages that takes the session from stem to stern on how to do an interim search. The heart of that document is a description of the congregation, what I like to call the mini-me mission study. It's not the full-blown mission study that will occur later. It's just give us the basics, tell us where you're at right now. So membership, budget, worship attendance, key ministries, and then of course a job description and the outline of the contract. This is something that candidates are going to want to know. They want to know what they're doing, and they're going to want to know what the terms of call are. And then the important part of this mini-me mission study that the session will have to answer are what are the key needs that the interim needs to address during this transitional time. Appendix A in that document has a list of interim tasks and goals, and it kind of walks the session through what's a good interim task, what's a doable interim task, and what isn't. So once the session has that mini-me mission study put together, they send it to the Presbytery pastor, and then for most circumstances, I try to find between 2 to 5 really good candidates for them. Usually these people are from our own region, either our own presbytery or our sister presbytery. Sometimes they are interims that I've interacted with around the nation. A church can put a ministry information form together and do a national search on the CLC, but that's just going to take a lot longer. And usually we have very strong, viable candidates who are living here in Arizona and New Mexico, and we can get the church moving forward sooner rather than later. Once a church has an interim pastor, it's going to take a few months for that interim pastor to get her or his feet on the ground. It's important for an interim to know the congregation before the interim starts to lead the congregation in a particular direction. And the first direction interims take the congregation is to do a mission study. A mission study is an opportunity for discernment and for a church to get clear about their own missional identity before they start the pastor search process. The mission study is an act of the session, but it's led by the interim pastor. Most interim pastors have their own methodology of how they do mission studies. Even the rookie interim pastors have their notion of how they want to lead a mission study. So they have their own methodology, and we have a document called Mission Study Ideas, which gives some suggestions. These suggestions are just that, they're suggestions. The ideas are illustrative, not required. Most interim pastors have their own tried and true method. However, there are certain circumstances where a church won't have an interim pastor, and either the COM liaison or the presbytery pastor will be asked to facilitate the mission study process. In such circumstances, this document, Mission Study Ideas, is really super helpful. But again, it's illustrative, not required. What is required is that the mission study be presented to the COM, and that COM approve the mission study. Sometimes this is a dialogical process where we push back, we go back and forth, because in our experience, the church has maybe missed something or not answered a question with sufficient clarity. In any case, when we finally get the approved mission study document, implicit with that approval of the document is permission for the church to elect a pastor nominating committee. This has been a long presentation. I thank you for your patience. I've thrown a lot of material your way. There's a lot of information to manage and to sort through. I guess you have questions. If so, let the discussion begin.